Hello, everybody. Well, that all body being zero. Uh, welcome to the Right Men podcast. We are back with our volume number 2. Uh, we decided we'd run it back. Had such a good time last night. Well, last time, and
Yeah.
yeah, we're back. Same people. I'm still Caleb. This is still Josh, and
Ew.
we are gonna talk about some pretty interesting stuff today. Josh, do you want to let us know kind of what we're going to be talking about first, or?
So, last podcast at the very end, we agreed to do a bit of video games, and just to see how we feel about what video game. Um, and I have the honor of trying to convince you, or at least change your mind, that FNAF is not that bad, and that it's actually a respectable game.
Five Nights at
Yeah,
Freddy's, yes. I forgot.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, everybody forgets about it.
Yeah, I
There's a
mean,
security breach.
yeah, it's literally like Five Nights at Freddy's. So there used to be something called an Intellivision, and it was a video game console back in the fucking, I don't know. It was when the video game consoles were first coming out. I forget the year. My bad. And they had a game called like Switcheroo, where you literally just went through on cameras and you found a killer trying to kill someone. So I'm saying that it's so dated that when consoles were first being invented, this idea was getting used. So you could call it, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm saying that this idea is older than my grandma, right? And it's just stale. They literally did the exact same thing. You just walk around and you change cameras. Do you even walk around? Or am I thinking about something else? Five Nights at Freddy's is one where you like you're on cameras and you're like switching around the cameras to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So,
We don't walk. You don't walk around though.
Okay. Yeah. So it's literally stationary. So it's the exact same game.
So in 1, 2, 3, and UCN, you're literally like at a desk,
Mm-hmm.
and you are switching around, like close doors and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the horror concept of it is one, the lore, which I'm not going to get that far into because you could do that for yourself. But essentially, you're trying to keep animatronics, or in number 3's case, dude trapped in an animatronic suit out of your office and try to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
You can't run, and that's the thing that I love the most about it, is that you cannot run away. There's no running away. There's no, like, you don't. You can do is move. It's pretty much like being in a swivel chair, like you're.
Mm-hmm.
So just the concept of having to just sit there while something's coming after you is absolutely terrifying.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I can see it. So, if that's the horror aspect of the game, then like, where's the win? Is it just like not dying? Is the name of the game?
Yeah. Survival.
Survival. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so what? Like, take me through like the little bit of the lore. Like, what's just a little sneak peek.
I'm glad you asked.
Mm-hmm.
So, two guys open up a pizzeria. One of the guys ends up being an absolute monster and kills innocent children, essentially, and stuffs them into animatronic suits.
Okay.
The other guy had no idea, but is starting to catch on. And gets to a point of the animatronics are then hunted by these children, and every night they come alive and they try to attack the night guard because one of the owners was a night guard.
Okay.
That's how he was able to kill the kids, and so it's it, it's really hard to depict on every little
Yeah.
detail without just giving it all away and having to sit here for like 5 hours explaining it. But essentially, that is part of the concept.
Okay.
So, so not only do you have the survival horror aspect, but you also have a lore that is quite dark and creepy. Like when I first heard about it, I'm just like, oh, well, Chuck E. Cheese is gone rogue. Um, and then I actually watched the lore of it, and it turned out to be just dark and twisted and everything that someone who likes horror um, movies and games just
Yeah.
just feeding off of.
Okay, so I'll touch on it, and I'm going to be primarily going against you here, just so you know. Like no holds barred. So where would you put this game, or even series of games, on an all time list? All time horror list, let's call
Individually or altogether?
it. I'm talking about whole package. Like you
The
got
whole
your
package?
whole package. I think there's one category that just takes it out of all contention, but I want to hear your response.
Um, somewhere in the top 10.
Somewhere in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I hard disagree.
Only because of Security Breach. That game was shit.
It just fell.
Oh, there goes your foot.
I don't know how that happens. Anyway,
It's ready.
I think it's because I have
It's ready.
just a fire going and it's just like washing through and it's pushing it down. Anyway, top 10. Here's my argument, right? Why it can't be top 10. It's because there's no real gameplay.
Okay.
There's no real gameplay to it. I mean, yeah, sure, you can say switching cameras is gameplay, but that's like saying that in a first person shooter, switching like looking backwards is like a crazy mechanic in the game. Like changing your camera, like moving your camera around is a crazy mechanic when every single shooter game has that, right? So like just and like I said before, it's been done before. It's been done in like the earliest years of gaming. So it's not a new concept or something fresh. It's just fresh to a newer audience because they weren't alive when like the ColecoVision was around. So that's the one thing that I think takes it out of top 10. Now you could argue top 20. I think top 30 possibly, but I mean old Resident Evil games were really good. I would say even its predecessor, um, the old version was better. It was based around a break and entering where it had live action people breaking into a house and they were trying to murder the people in the house, so you had to like stop them, set up traps, and like set these live action people in there. Whereas instead, this is like all animated. I don't know how much blood or guts in there, but I mean the old version wasn't the greatest. I wouldn't call it better than it, but I would say I did. But I wouldn't say it's better. I take that back. I would say it's more of a pioneer than it. And I'd say just the originality is just not there.
I would have put the Apple top 5 or top 3 if you go by how the game's run and the lore of it. The lore alone is just like it's complete mystery and everybody's still trying to figure it out. That alone just it piques people's curiosity, and if a game can do that, then that's
Yeah, but
quite
I
amazing.
mean, let's say you're brand new to World of Warcraft, right? What keeps you coming back? The lore or the gameplay or the hoarding or the raiding? Like what actually brings you back? It's not the lore. The lore is just an
Oh,
addition.
because no, because World of Warcraft sucks, and people fucking don't know what
Oh, don't
Warcraft
say
actually
it.
is.
Warcraft is a great game. It's just
Oh,
gone
Warcraft
downhill.
was the best game.
Hmm.
Warcraft was the best game, and then they turned it into what fuck, wow, and then it just went.
Well, I think after Wrath of the Lich King, it just kind of went downhill, right? Like I think Mists of Pandaria is just it just wasn't fun at all. Like at least for me
Is that
personally.
a part? Was that a part of Warcraft or WoW?
Oh wow, World of Warcraft.
Uh,
Yeah, it was an
yeah, I
expansion, but
stopped playing.
my
I
cousin
stopped
would
playing.
probably argue with me pretty hard on Warcraft stuff, so I'm gonna stay away from it. I'll go to something more I'm more knowledgeable in. So like League of Legends. So like League of Legends had the deepest lore of any MMO of recent. Probably actually
Mhm.
no, I'm probably fucking around. Dota 2 is pretty up there. So it probably goes like Dota 2 and League of Legends for like lore wise. And then they just like I don't think the lore is what brought people in. It was that League of Legends was just so finely tuned in its gameplay and it was so clean. And then the Riot just realized that the lore didn't really matter as much, so they stopped doing it. And it hasn't affected League of Legends sales at all.
Like all around games or like horror, because
I'm just
when I was doing the top whatever for now, I was doing horror.
yeah, I know. I'm just sort of making the argument
Okay.
against how important lore is to the success or failure of a game. Right? And we look at the biggest ones. The biggest ones did have lore in the beginning, but most of the times they just gave up on it because it ended up being sort of irrelevant in the end.
Because and I'm going to say this like in my own personal opinion that
Yeah.
you look at lore base and also um, horror factor. Besides the security breach, like FNAF have gotten into the top 3 for me, but
Mm.
because of security breach, it goes all the way down to like 7 or 8. I, and then you get into if you do go into the Warcraft, then that's like top 3 for me.
Hmm. I definitely think it's immersive when you love a game and love its mechanics, and then you get into the lore, right? I think it just adds some new depth to it that is really solid. But anyway, going back to the horror games, there's no fucking way FNAF is better than Resident Evil. Okay? It's just no way. Like,
Not now. I would put Resident. Well, okay, hold on. It depends. Do you consider Doom a horror game?
yes.
Then Resident Evil would be second place for me.
The only reason why I'd consider Doom a horror game is because, no, that was Mortal Kombat. But Doom was one of those older games that did get that R rating back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we got to give it chops for that, right? It was a scary game. Even though by today's standards it isn't, I would still look at the old style and say that yes, it was.
Scared the shit out of kids. I think that it would be considered horror.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit was just different back in the old day. When I was growing up, my parents just let me watch, Ghostface when I was like 7 years old. Right? I mean, I couldn't sleep, so I went in the living room and guess what we were watching? I guess I'm watching that too. Like I don't know, like it's like at the same time they were so strict, but at least my parents were not at all. They were just like, let him watch it, let him play it.
Yeah, because I would put Doom at number one because I remember uh, the idea of it scaring the shit out of me, and I was already terrified like The Exorcist when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the devil's coming after me. I don't try to close my fucking eyes. But like Resident Evil has a storyline that you just like, even if you don't like the games and the gameplay, storyline is just absolutely amazing.
No, unfortunately, I'm not Joji.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a singer. He's pretty sick, but not me.
Has to do with it.
Oh, I'm looking at chat. I had chat closed. My bad. Anyway, sorry,
Chat.
continue. Shit.
So yeah, fucking chat. Resident Evil it has to be top two. Um, just mainly because of its storyline. So long. Just like no matter which one you start with, it does take on that factor of like, oh, this is a nice storyline. Even if like I got frustrated playing the games,
Yeah.
and then as I got older, I learned what the story was.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the games alone. The movies were okay. I didn't really like the second one because it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, they're finding everything together. Oh, look, they haven't done that before. But a lot of the games kind of circle back.
Yeah.
It's nice.
They.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Like they have a nice story and a nice sort of base of them. I mean, okay. So where do you think that it's gonna go from there? Like the Five Nights at Freddy's thing was great, right? Had a great run. Do you think that it's gonna get better? Do you think it's just gonna exponentially grow? Like, do you think there's gonna be another game and it's gonna be better? I'm just wondering. Like, do you think it's peaked? Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Um, I would say that the because Scott Cawthon, the creator of FNAF, he left.
Yeah.
He's just like fuck this about. I get you guys like Democrats, but yes, I voted conservative because I care about our country.
Yeah.
So he got pushed out and put into retirement early. And a lot of what's going on with like the movies and the books and all that, I think he still has a tie. But as far as the games go, um, it's really hard to say because they're coming out with a new, I want to call it a DLC, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Security Breach was so bad that I don't think the DLC is going to help anything.
Wow.
I really fucking hate Security Breach. It was so
That
stupid.
bad?
It was that bad. It was so glitchy, and they took away most of the good parts. Apparently, um, most of the puzzles you couldn't figure out without a walkthrough. Some fucking bullshit.
Well, I mean, I was playing like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and I literally hit a point where I'm just like, okay, the game is no longer telling me what to do. I'm fucking, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. just sailing around, literally
It's
doing nothing.
it's the same concept. Like you see this game, and it's supposed to be like a really good game. And the only difference that I would say is that I don't like Legend of Zelda, and Wind Waker was a better game than Security Breach.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even need to play Security Breach to put Legend of Zelda over that. Wait, wait a second. Are you telling me right now that you think that the best Five Nights at Freddy's game beats like Ocarina of Time?
Nostalgia. Because I remember playing that when I stayed home from school. Because I faked being sick.
Yeah.
That was a good game. But if we're gonna go for pound
Pound for
of like
pound.
which one, like if we stack up all the games of Legend of Zelda and all the games of FNAF, in my opinion, FNAF would take it. But if we
Oh, don't
individually,
even. You can't say that. You can't say that.
if I Canon did,
You
Canon did.
literally
If we
can't
stack
say
them
that.
up, if we stack them up individually, though, Legend of Zelda would take it.
Yeah. I mean, it's no real contest. I mean, what are you gonna
Ocarina of Time,
Breath of the Wild?
Ocarina, oh no,
Twilight
no,
Forest?
no,
No?
oh no. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the first one. Hello.
You know, I
Yes. Yeah. Hurry up! I'm on a podcast. It's all good.
Listen, what you just said
Better
was
make me some.
what you said was the most blasphemous thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I've heard a lot of stuff. Like,
Holds are down there.
so you're telling me a game with no gameplay, you just switch cameras, is better than a full-fledged production? Like, getting the Master
Oh
Sword.
no, the story. The story is quite encapsulating, but I find that a lot of it is kind of the same thing that you find with First Legend of Zelda and also Ocarina and Majora's Mask. At least those had original concepts. But a lot of what I see is just I feel like the creators of Legend of Zelda are just trying to bring back what they had with Ocarina of Time with better graphics.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, there's definitely a story to it where it's like, you know, you're Link, you get your shield, right? You go off, you get the Master Sword, and you get an improved shield. You get all of your equipment. Then you go and you fight Ganon, right? It's done a little differently in each game, but that's kind of the general storyline. But
That's
but you know
why it rates them
what?
so low.
But you know what? Fucking, what are we doing every game in FNAF? Okay, we're fucking on cameras, looking at screens every time. If you can't tell me that that's not copy paste, I don't know what is. Right? What would they add another button?
Yes.
They added heavy boots in the next game. Does that make it different? Like, I don't.
No. See, the initial game is to survive. The other side of it is to find the lore. It's kind of like one of those click and play. Try to find the hidden lore piece. Yeah,
So it's the same. So it's the same.
In a way.
I mean, that's like, okay. So, do you think Mario is like, or do you think the Mario games are great games? They're technically the same side-scrolling 2D platformer, minus like,
Yep.
and there's always a mushroom, there's always a star, there's always a fire flower, right? There's no new power-ups really, unless you could call like a shrinking shroom a new power-up, right? I mean, these are the same. Yeah, I said excluding Mario Galaxy being one of those like really crazy different ones. But so would you say that those games are just the same and not impactful?
I wouldn't say that they're not. I didn't say Legend of Zelda wasn't impactful.
Mm.
I would only say that they are impactful because Ocarina of Time catches the eyes of people
Mm-hmm.
who are like in the late stages of millennials, and then you got the early stages of millennials who liked the first one,
Mm-hmm.
very first Legend of Zelda. So when you have kids like me who grew up on the Super Nintendo, Mario, Super, what was it, Super Mario World with trying to find a Yoshi,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Like I completed Mario Brothers 3 at the age of 4,
Yeah. It's a good
and
game.
it pissed me off because I had to spend hours trying to figure out how to get like the secret little area,
Mm-hmm.
and then you grab the thing that leads you to like World 8 or whatever,
I
and like yeah, they're
my
the same, but they
no, sorry.
no.
I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. My mind is just like exploding right now because like I'm you said Super Mario Bros. 3 and I remember my dad used to fucking play this game, right? And him and my stepmom, they would just play it all day. And I was like, "Oh fuck." Right? I'd watched them play it and they were just trash. Like they would just die and I'm like, just fucking slow down. I'm like, you're just holding the B button to death, and you're not even jumping. You're not even jumping. Like it's why I became like a hermit and just stayed in my room. I swear to God, because of this, because I couldn't take watching them suck. I just couldn't do it. Like I was like, I'm done. My life's over. I'm gonna go and kill myself.
I don't think I can put that part on YouTube.
I'm just kidding. I didn't do it.
Obviously, you can't unalive yourself in the
Right.
past. This isn't this. You don't
Unalive.
have an ocarina.
That's true. I don't have a way of going back. I will say Ocarina of Time is
Um,
like one of the greatest opening sequences of like all time. Like
oh,
it's
dude, the whole game was cinematically just beautiful, and then all of a sudden, you get into like other games, but then again, you can go into like Pokemon Stadium back then,
yeah.
and it would be the same concept of where like you look at the graphics then it compared to now, and it's completely different. But back then, it was like a marvel, and just where's mine? Buttholes? Yes, please.
Just seeing the cavalry come
Oh,
through, right? Not sharing the food. It's kind of rude.
they're gonna bring me one. Um, so essentially what it breaks down to, because I was looking at Pokemon Stadium, and it's the same thing. And it's just like, back then this was the golden age, just like GoldenEye
Yeah.
007. But yeah, no, putting Mario anywhere would be 100% nostalgia base, and you also have to have a bit of skill because you have to memorize certain enemies, just like in Legend of Zelda. But because it is a side scroller, it would be considered something different.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the whole stick of FNAF is that you memorize where they're gonna be beforehand so
Mhm.
that you know where they're gonna so you know what to do going forward. So I say that actually limits replayability, right? Because as soon as you know the entire pattern, you're done with the game. So on realistically, how many hours can we get out of this? You know? Like
That,
four,
that's
five,
what
six?
that's why they made Ultimate Custom Night.
Yes, they made DLC to fix their problem, right? I mean,
No. It's actual game by itself.
Oh, so they made a whole new game. So if you bought this $40 game, we're sorry that you only got 6 hours. Right? You can buy this
That's
other $40 game and
cheaper than that.
okay,
It's
$20 game.
it's
When it released, how much was
cheaper.
it when it released? I'm only looking at release.
$10. It's like 5 now.
Okay, so it was $7.99. That's still too much.
Too
Too
much.
much. Too much.
So if you complete all 5 nights, you get to do 6 and 7. In the 7th night of Five Nights at Freddy's, you can control how much, like how they go. The difficulty goes up to 20 on each individual character, and in the Ultimate Custom Night, they put all 50 characters into one game. All the 50 characters that you had to figure out how to deal with, and then you have to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And there's only been a handful of people who are able to beat all 50/20 mode.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's kind of nuts.
It does take some skill to memorize all these characters.
I'm
but
not
if you
saying
look at,
it doesn't take skill. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you look at what you're saying, where it's just one individual game, like if you do FNAF 1, yeah, no, you're getting about 6 hours.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. So Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach costs $39.99.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That game should be $1 or thrown out.
Like,
I fucking hate. No. Like I'm 100% a FNAF fan. I love FNAF. And then you come out with that garbage and that hot piece of garbage, and it's one of the lore bases is that they think that the character that you play, Gregory, a child, is a robot.
Okay.
They already had the dream theory within the lore, where it's like, oh, it's just the kid's dream. Who's gonna die? So it's all made up in his head. And like these pieces of information just ruins the game. It's like, well, then what the fuck am I doing here? Like, and then you get into other factors that like, oh, this is actually what it could be in a theory. And it's like, oh, okay, now it's fun again. And then you get into security breach and you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it definitely seems like continuity got a little distraught there. Anyway, I mean, you never know.
I
Maybe
just want them to stop making.
if it's $7.99, maybe I will give it a shot. Maybe we'll give it a shot. I mean,
I just want them to stop making porn of Chica.
well, that sounds a little vile.
It is. Stop it. It's a child inside that.
I don't think I'm down anymore.
Stop it. Dude, I would play a custom night. Just be wary. Be wary of it's Toy Chica, because everybody's like, oh, they made her thick. It's like, no, design concept was a mistake. There's some people in the fan community that just they take it too far. Everybody does. Marvel people take it. I take it too far with Marvel.
With Marvel?
Yeah, I was looking at your shirt and I was thinking, might run this somewhere.
What's even? Do you like my shirt?
Yeah. Actually, mine's just up there. I got so. People ask me questions on recording night.
Nice.
Thank you. I agree with myself.
Did you hear me say that? Yeah,
Yeah,
Spider-Man
I do.
2099. He's like, he has my third favorite Spider-Man suit.
I just love them all.
Okay, who's your favorite Spider-Man costume? Well, Spider-Man suit.
Thank you. I want to say the black one.
Black suit Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Mine's so weird. I think I'm like the only one that loves this suit more than the others. I might be wrong. I love Ben Riley's Scarlet Spider costume. It just
Are you sending it?
do you want me to show you a picture of it? Okay, one sec.
Yeah,
It is
I have to exit full screen.
I don't know, it just looks so nice to me.
I haven't even like read this.
Pardon?
I've just been like I haven't read this. I've just been keeping it in its little case.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I'll be 1 second. I'm gonna put it back.
Okay. I might as well show you guys the Scarlet Spider. So, Scarlet Spider costume. I don't know. It just looks so clean, right? Like, you know, you got this jacket and like these gold clasps on the bottom. I don't know. It just kind of looks clean. If anything, I'd want these on his wrists to be gold as well as web shooters, but I don't know. To me, this costume always appealed to me. I'll send you a picture. Just showed the peeps. But yeah, I don't know. The gold clasps are a little sus on this. I think the one that I used, it just had silver, or it just didn't even have clasps at the bottom.
You have an iPhone?
Of Samsung.
Oh, I'm an iPhone guy.
No, that's fair. Like I too appreciate conveniency and ease of use. Why you don't like the Scarlet Spider? That's my favorite costume, and it's Ben Riley's character. Ben Riley's character is a great Spider-Man.
Okay, so the clasps, like the wrist clasps.
Yeah, those are web shooters.
They look a bit janky. But I'm going off of the fact that like I'm used to the original Spider-Man, or he just did it.
What do you mean just did it? Yeah, the original Spider-Man had web shooters.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It's the only Spider-Man that's ever not had web shooters.
Right. I will say that little jackets a nice touch. The anklets are handy.
Yeah, those anklets are the only thing that I'm like a little sus on. I don't like that they're gold. I wish they were silver as well.
Yeah, they don't really match, but the belt, I don't know how to feel about it.
The belt?
But at the same time, like, yeah, it goes with it, but at the same time, like, if I saw it without, like, just as a reference, but overall, I give it an 8%.
Like, what do you mean? So you're picking this apart here. Oh, whoa! We just died. Okay.
We died.
So you're saying that this you don't like the gold clasps? That's fine.
No, I don't like the gold color. I think you're right that it should be silver.
Yeah, I don't even really know what he has in there. Like extra web shooters, I guess. But I don't. The belt just. I don't know. Like he's like Batman.
I just don't like Batman.
He's like Batman.
Where I
Okay,
take it.
I mean,
This is where I take it too far.
okay,
This is where I take it too far because fuck
okay.
DC.
Let me. No, don't. DC is my favorite. DC is my favorite.
You got you're sitting here with Marvel stuff and you're like, "Oh, DC is my favorite."
DC is my favorite, though. I mean, the Marvel just has the merch, right? DC doesn't have the merch. That's all I can say. Like, I don't know. Oh, still, Spider-Man is my number one favorite superhero. Okay, but then it goes Batman, and then Martian Manhunter, Superman.
Mm.
Like, and then it goes down that list. I really like the Flash too, but I like the Flash in like animation. I haven't really read any Flash comics. I don't know. It's just I'm not as interested in an Iron Man or like I'd like to see gods become people and less of people becoming gods. Well, so to say. What? What? What's your problem?
How can you? You're number 2.
My number 2 is Batman.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you don't like Iron Man.
Iron Man's different. Iron Man's way different. How is Iron Man the same as Batman?
They're both rich.
Yeah.
They fight. They fight with toys.
So does a lot of people, but sure. That's it. You have 2 points on how they're the same. One doesn't use
Because
armor.
that's all I need.
One doesn't use armor. The bat
how
suit
does
isn't
Batman
an
not
armor.
use armor?
He does it. It's a bat suit. His main thing is its cloth.
Depending on which Batman you're talking about, because there's a lot of Batman suits with armor on it.
Okay, but he primarily doesn't use those. He primarily uses just a regular bat suit. Tony Stark 100% of the time uses an armor suit. It's not like he uses a cloth suit ever, or else he wouldn't be Iron Man.
He's also fighting more important battles than just, oh, this person robbed a bank.
In the comic book story Injustice, the Joker kills Lois Lane, he destroys Metropolis, Superman kills him and turns him evil. Right? Name me one thing that, like, I don't know, what's his name? Like, Sash Whip, which is one of Iron Man's main enemies. You see him in Iron Man 2. Name one time that he's just fucking taken out Thor.
Like, all I can think about is the fucking Avengers movies.
Right? And yeah, you could argue the Mandarin. The Mandarin has done some serious damage in the Marvel MCU. But like not to the levels of like Doom. Not to the levels of like higher functioning. I mean, when you can make Superman kill you, I would say you're pretty important. But that's an offbeat story. Like Clayface would decimate. Right? What are they? Bane? Bane would do really well against Iron Man.
Okay, Bane. Okay, Joker and Bane are my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
out of all of DC.
Sorry, go on. Wait, what? We couldn't hear you.
I was trying to do the Bane impression.
Oh, it was against the mic. It was hard to hear you.
Does it sound better? You're literally just gonna cup your hands, start to do the Bane impression, and pretend like you're exposed. What?
No, nothing.
Oh, is chat saying that I'm actually a DC?
You're exposed, Josh. You're exposed.
I've watched DC comics, but I also read the Bible. It doesn't mean I'm Christian.
That was okay. You know what? Good save. Good save. We'll
Mhm.
get back to you on that one. Don't worry. Still,
I'm a fan of Bane and the Joker. Which Joker? Not fucking Jared Leto. Maybe he's why I don't like the fucking DC universe.
you don't like Jared Leto?
No, and I also don't like Superman.
You don't like the current Superman?
I don't like any of them.
None of them. Come on.
No.
What? Okay.
I do. Green Lantern's cool.
Wait, what? Wait. So
I think Green Lantern's cool.
you think the animated Green Lantern movie is a good movie?
Well, I'm not gonna go off of fucking Ryan Reynolds.
That's what I'm saying. The Ryan Reynolds movie. Sorry, it's like so CGI. I thought it was animated for a moment.
No, I don't like the Ryan Reynolds version. It's almost like he plays the same part, but we all daddy over him. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Jeez.
I'll kiss you there.
Josh almost got exposed. Josh almost got exposed to his love of the Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds movie. Right? We just had to throw that back under the couch. Throw that back under the shade. Well, he's like, oh, don't worry, Ryan Reynolds. I'll watch you later. So
Well, he did a really good job on Deadpool.
He did. He did do a really good job. Well, he's still doing a good job. They're supposed to do more Wolverine now.
Number 3.
That's going to be a really
Is
good
it
one.
weird that that's how I do 3?
Yeah, I do it like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a lot of hand movements. Mine's just like...
I used to do that way, and then for some reason I just started doing this, and now I just can't stop.
Because we're signing. I'm actually learning sign language. I'm trying to, at least. You know, because I just work at the front desk at a motel right now, a hotel. So it's a lot of just like sitting around, waiting for people to check in. So I took this. It's like mini sign language course, and it's like, right? It's kind of fun. You know what? You're making fun of me, but I'm actually saying things right now. Like, I'm actually saying, like...
No, I am too.
Like, I'm fine. Right? Hello. Thank you.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is to poop. Shit. Bull. So bull. Shit.
You know, it's gonna be when I start like signing everything on the stream, you're gonna love it, and you're just gonna be like
Random hidden code,
right? Because I mean, Josh, I'll teach you.
I really don't think that's what he said.
That is what I said. I will put. It's like knowledge. It's knowledge to you. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because it's different language. Like when literally is when you're asking a question, instead of saying the question bit first, like instead of saying, "Oh, how are you today?" It's you, like today. And then it's just sort of, you're supposed to just kind of know that that's just saying like, how are you? And you mouth it. I'm only on like day 3, okay? I'm not too smart about it, but it's kind of cool. I think it's going to be cool. But I think we should talk a little bit about Rocket League. Because
Rocket League?
Because that is where my bread and butter is. Call it like...
I'm going to lie to you and say that it's a bad...
That Rocket League's a bad game?
I said I'm going to lie to you and say that.
Yeah, don't even lie to me right now. Okay? This is like... We'll call this a segment. This is Caleb Talks Rocket League. This is yeah, Caleb Talks Rocket League. So we got a freaking major coming up in Rotterdam. And these are the teams that are going to be going.
Oh Jesus Christ! I just saw you have like a miniature heart attack.
You know, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm a little so we got K Corp. EU has yet to be determined because their rankings are going to happen this weekend. We got Gen G coming in, Face Clan V1, Space Station G2, The Club, Sam, Mina, and APAC. I think personally that it doesn't matter how tough your region is. If you are feeling very confident in Rocket League and you're feeling the momentum of the game and I like to call it a rhythm of the game, like the flow, then you're going to do well at majors. And majors naturally ascend you or descend you. So everyone's picking Gen G, everyone's picking K Corp, and I think Oxygen are going to make it. But the thing is, I think I got to pick the club. I'm picking the club on record right here to win it all. When when the bracket comes out next week I'll do another Rocket Talk and we're going to predict who is going to win the major. We'll have a full bracket. It'll be beautiful. But I'm picking the club. Just know I'm biased right out of the gate. Right? Last year it was Falcons and I missed. I just straight up missed. I predicted them to win the spring major, and they came second, which was devastating to me. Devastating. Now, they should have won. Realistically, it should have gone in the spring major in 2021 2022. Space Station should have beat Moist Esports. They were up. It was 2-1. They were up a goal with 9 seconds left on the clock, and then proceeded to choke. They choked a kickoff goal, right? And then proceeded to lose the game 7 overtime, which, like, if Space Station wins, like, let's talk history a bit. Like, let's say Space Station win that, and they go to the upper bracket, and then Falcons Moist. If Moist lose that, and Falcons go number 2, then I think Space Station beats Falcons. I thought they were just really tired at that point. And if Moist wins against Falcons, then they go into the finals. So then it's Space Station Moist. And I think Space Station beats Moist. I don't think they beat them really handily. I think they beat them 4-1 or 4-2. I don't think Moist has the gas to really.
Is this the championship?
So this is the spring major I'm talking about.
Okay.
I think the World Championship.
It's a championship.
Yeah, it's one of the majors. The reason why I'm really talking about majors is because we've finished our North America bracket for the split. So there's 3 regionals before a major. So now we're going to Rotterdam for this major. And I think this major is, well, clip this if you want. NRG are my favorite team and they're not making the major. Okay? And I'm going to say this right now. They are going to make a trade. They have to. If they don't make a trade, I'm saying this on the record, I am not an NRG fan anymore. I am going to pick another team and I'm going to bandwagon on Gen G. If NRG don't make a move, I don't know who you got to move, and I'm going to say something crazy that no one has said. I think you trade Justin. I think you trade their star. I think you trade their star player because there's a different aspect to the game of Rocket League that I think when you reach the professional level, it becomes a little more impactful, and that is mindset. Right? So, when you are losing, your ability to stay in the moment, continue rolling. But I think with Justin, he just, he gets scored on, and he's like, oh, this game is chalked. And then just, completely checks out of the game. You know? And I might be wrong, but even then, circumstances, your Wi-Fi hasn't been working. I don't care if you're getting DDoSed or not, right? I mean, why do people just want to DDoS you? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So like your team environment is just not the greatest. And before the season started, I said you should trade Garrett G. I said Garrett G's the problem. He is rushing a lot of challenges. So like when cars coming in and you have another car and the ball's in the middle, he is trying to predict, so he's jumping high and they're going low. So they're winning the ball every time. And of course I don't know anything, but that's just what I've seen from a third person perspective.
As the fourth person perspective, I'm voting that Moist is going to take it just for their name alone.
You think Moist Esports is going to win the first major?
I'm going
of the
full.
season?
I'm going full Markiplier. I'm going full Markiplier because he did this on the Go My Favorite Sports Team podcast, where he didn't know what he was talking about with certain sports, and he picked teams and he won. So I'm going to do the same.
Well, I mean,
I have no
Moist,
idea what you're talking about.
Moist Esports is not a bad pick. They're not a bad pick at all. I mean,
I just like the name.
of course you do, because it's Moist Critical. I mean, Moist Critical.
Oh, is it? Is
That's-
it critical?
That's his esports team.
Is it? Is it Charlie?
It's Charlie. Yep.
It's Charlie.
Yeah, he's a really great org. Like I've only heard great things, so no hate to him at all. I mean, apparently he's doing a really bang up job. Pick some great players. Now I would say Astral was a bit of a tough. It's just a tough situation. Like I think you would have rather had more of a supporting defense than like a full 3-man first man, which I don't think you're playing right now. I think you're mostly playing like Joyo at the 2. You're hoping Astral at the 1, maybe Rise at the 3, or like you just have 2 second man. So like you have Astral at the 1 and Joyo and Rise at the 2. It's not a bad line. I don't know. It's a little tough.
I'm going to pretend
Not a
that
traditional team.
I'm going to pretend that you're talking about it like football.
It's
not American football.
Yeah, it's a lot like soccer.
Football.
Sure. Listen, we're in Canada, okay? It's called soccer.
Yeah.
It's not called
football.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You use your foot on the ball. Football.
Okay. Skate puck then. I like skate puck. Or stick puck. Stick puck, you're right.
Actually, hockey got was ripped off. It was a complete rip off from lacrosse.
Well, lacrosse is Canada's,
and I used to play it.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's our country's sport, lacrosse, right?
And hockey.
Is it hockey? I thought it was just lacrosse.
No, it was. It's depends on which season. So if you're doing summer, it's lacrosse. If you're doing winter, it's hockey.
And
we have like 8 different national animals.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So officially, lacrosse is Canada's national sport, although hockey is the nation's most popular and loved sport. So, can you really call it not our national sport at that point? That's all anyone watches. That's all.
Well, if it wasn't for the Montreal Canadiens, which I'm not a fan of theirs. I'm just saying that because they have the most championships and they are the most well-known Canadian team.
Mm-hmm.
Like how can you say that it's ours? However, I actually cheer for an American team.
Oh?
I'm a Boston fan.
You're a Boston.
All
You're a
across
Bruins fan.
I'm a Boston fan all the way up until you get to American football, and then I'm a Vikings fan. So,
Mm.
that's only because I'm not cheering for the Patriots. Fuck Tom Brady. Like it's straight up and down. Um, but yeah, no, I've been a Boston fan since 2011.
All right. So I
And that's the look I want.
I don't have any comment on that one. Okay. So
It was a good year.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
You flip me off.
Yeah. So there's only one thing that I wanna end off my Caleb talks about Rocket League with a bracket prediction. So I am going to do this so you can see what's going on.
La la.
I want to see what's going on here. So yeah, so you can see this, and I'm going to
I
bring.
can kinda.
So you can see what's going on right now.
Kind of.
Okay, perfect. So
I've got the eyes of an old man.
Okay,
That's a little there.
we're just trying to on the fly make this happen. Okay, so you can kind of see us both in our reactions here. Sort of. Okay, switch over. So we got Kate Corp, Williams Resolve. Can you see the bracket, please? Tell me you can. Okay, so we got Kate Corp. That's gonna be a 3-0. I haven't heard of anything from Williams Resolve. Quadrant, 3-0. Oxygen Esports, I think that's gonna be a 3-2. Oxygen always looks super shaky in the Swiss Abyss. I could honestly see them losing this match, going 2-3. But I'm going to pick them. And I think Solary's going to get a game. I think BDS is going to lose a game to Monkeys. Nothing too crazy. And I think this is going to be our first upset. I think Evil Geniuses is going to come through. And AO Girl versus Vitality. The question is, do Vitality loop back around? Do they win another regional? Oh, no, sorry, they lost. They lost to Quadrant. My bad. Radosin, is he gonna pop off again? He was really their rock last time. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say it goes to 5 and it goes to Vitality. And I have predicted Team Liquid to win every single EU regional, and they've lost so horribly. But you know what? I got it. This is our event. This is our event, boys. Even though it's against G1, I love G1. So then we go into the bottom round. I think K-Corp are going to make some noise. 3-0? Why did I instantly put 3-0? You know what? They're going to look different. They're just going to look different. And I think Quadrant with Cash, they are going to win. I can't. They're just looking too good. We're going to start speeding through. Moist Oxygen. I'm going to guess Moist. I know Josh is going to love that pick. BDS. I think there's going to be Evil Geniuses. Sure.
Moist me, daddy.
Sure. Upset right there. We'll go into the lower round. So we'll go Tundra Esports. I'm gonna guess Tundra. We'll put 1. Williams Resolve loses. Solary Heat, they lose. Oxygen Monkeys. Oxygen, let's go. Sonics. Evil Geniuses 3-1, and I think G1 beats them here. Sorry, we gotta go through. K Corp versus Moist. Ooh.
I think my screen's frozen.
Oh, you can't see?
Well, the screen share is just stuck.
It's broken. Okay, well, it's just BDS make it through. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds. I can fix it.
Okay.
K-Corp.
You want to keep talking for a second, and I'll just shove this in the microwave?
Yeah, go for it.
I really want this. I really want this popcorn, man.
Yeah, go make your popcorn. Yeah, sir. Team Liquid coming in hot. Team Liquid coming in hot, doing their thing, right? Upset time. I have so many ones. Nah, come on, Vitality. You can't lose to these monkeys. And you know what? You can't even do that. Sorry. Quadrant Tundra. Quadrant Choke. And Evil Geniuses make it through. And I think Oxygen should make it through. But it'll be tight. Okay, main results. Let's go into the playoffs. So we got Team BDS versus Oxygen, G1 Liquid, Moist Tundra, and K Corp Evil Geniuses. First off, let's do this. I think K Corp are going to win this 4-2. Moist and Tundra, I think they're going to win this 4-1. I think Moist are going to look great. Come on,
Me, Daddy.
You know what? We're gonna pray to God that Team Liquid plays well, and I think Oxygen is gonna get bounced here. I think they're not gonna look as good. Now, I think if BDS lose, if they win, we'd rather Oxygen in this matchup, because if Oxygen go against Team Liquid, it's a lot more like chasey, it's a lot more ball chasey, like there's a lot more opportunities for Team Liquid to actually come back around and score, whereas Team BDS is a lot more structured. They're not going to allow you just to have open nets and clear chances. But you know what? Team Liquid, we popping off. This is complete bias here. But I was biased with Gen G in the first regional, and it paid off. I had them losing in the first round. And I think it's going to be a Moist Esports and Team Liquid grand finals, where I think Moist Esports is going to take it in 6. So this is our bracket. We got Moist Esports winning the 16 points, and if this happens, still K Corp are #1 dogs. The only way that K Corp doesn't is if they lose in the first round and Moist win it all. I like it. There's my bracket. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go grab the popcorn.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Yeah, just let me know how you feel about my list. If you agree with it, disagree with it. If you think that there was any... Of course, it was a little bum rushed. Through the major, I'll do a much more broken down talk about each of the matches and how I feel the playstyles will go. But for this one, it was a little scuff EU, just quick, boom, 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 boom. I think, I don't know, what are some like super hot takes that we can give towards the major? Like, Gen G don't make it out of Swiss. That's a pretty good one. Gen G don't make it out of Swiss. K Corp don't make it out of Swiss. Oxygen don't make it out of Swiss. Moist Esports don't make it out of Swiss. There's a lot of just like Swiss stage. I think are they doing a Swiss stage in the major? I think they are.
Caleb, that's what I am right now.
You're a Swiss stage?
No, I'm our viewers.
Oh yeah, I'm just like watching. Like, listen, there's a rhythm to the game that is so widely underrepresented, and like it shows so heavily when a team makes a critical blunder, and then all of a sudden they just like can start conceding goals. And I think it's just like you can call it confidence, you can call it morale, you can call it all of these things, but I think it's just like an internal rhythm, momentum, as you can call it, because Rocket League is such a momentum based game. Um, but yeah, so those are some of our hot takes. I would say my biggest hot take would be um FaZe Clan don't make top 8. FaZe Clan, they just get bounced right
FaZe
out.
Clan's in it?
Yeah.
My boys. I'm cheering for them.
Listen, okay? FaZe Firstkiller is an amazing player. But he can't carry this team. I mean, Mist, I don't think they're going to be a better LAN team. I don't think they ever were better at LAN than they were in the regionals. I mean, when it was just Mist and the other players. Maybe I could be wrong, but I didn't feel like they made much noise, personally. So, like, this transition, it felt very sideways to me. Like, AJ's really great. He's just really good. Mm-hmm.
I
I know.
Is
It's rocket talk. It's rocket talk, right? Sorry, Josh. Sorry.
no. We are actually gonna incorporate this.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am enjoying that. We're gonna incorporate at least probably not this lifetime, but maybe like 10, 20 minutes of just like whatever news you have to bring. Because
Mm-hmm.
my and this actually fills out my news is that because we had a political discussion before, and you need to watch it. But Pennsylvania is fucking idiots. But
Mm.
then again, Dr. Oz is a fake Republican. So
Yeah, I
was it the fake Republican or the brain dead one?
so what was said? So what was said? Like, was it like what even happened? I didn't watch it. Maybe you can give me just a summary of what you watched.
So I was watching the live events, like you go into Google and you type in 2022 Senate elections,
Almost.
and it'll bring it up like all the houses and all the states Senate election summary, and who's running and who's winning and that kind of thing. And the whole time I was watching, and Pennsylvania was just getting overturned by red,
Mm.
but most important parts of Pennsylvania were completely blue.
Okay. So
So it's kind of like watching us in BC, watching our whole state turn red, and then Vancouver and Victoria being completely blue.
it's the opposite.
Or no, yeah, the opposite colors.
Yeah. Yeah, so like all of BC is blue except for Vancouver, which is red. Which is funny because Vancouver would have the most incentive for the highest housing prices and the highest inflation on housing. So the people who would
Right.
generally vote in Vancouver would be people that would want higher housing prices. But that's just
What
is what it is. I mean,
what did
voting.
the owners care? Like,
I don't know. It was something
what
where
did the owners care? They live in Silver Star.
I was thinking about this. And you know how when they were talking about like fair elections and we need to change the first past the post system? And this was back in like 2016.
Mhm.
I was thinking about it and I was like, well, okay. So let's say you have a voting system where you can pick A, B, C, and D, right, in order. So, like, let's say for me, it would be conservatives 1, liberal 2, NDP 3, right? Or sorry, it might, I don't know, maybe something like that. Use that as an example. But then I was thinking about that. I was like, that's not really fair, because if you're a liberal, you'd go liberal 1, but then you hate conservatives, so you'd go NDP 2, and then conservatives 3. But if you're an NDP, New Democratic Party, you'd go NDP 1, you hate conservatives, so you put liberal 2, right? So you basically just formulate the voting system so that it always favors you, because a conservative isn't going to put NDP number 2, right? If he has to put a number 2, he's going to put a liberal party, right?
PC.
Sure, PPC, but I'm talking about if there was no PPC. If there was no PPC,
Oh,
right, then you would just...
probably NDP.
No, I'd vote liberal before I vote NDP. Million times over. The NDP is technically the Socialist Party of Canada, right? So,
For now.
well, for now, that's their founding. I mean, they bring in socialist policies that are for the worker and for the people, but
Not even close.
yeah, I mean, I was watching. It's so inspirational. I recommend watching it. Watch Pierre Poilievre's recent speech that he did at the House of Commons, and Justin Trudeau walked out on it. He left the building mid speech, and
Again?
Yeah, I mean, the dude is just a fucking loser. Okay, so, but anyway, so he was speaking. Justin Trudeau leaves, and the whole house erupts. And he said, I'll quote him. He said, "Some people bring happiness wherever they go, and some people bring happiness whenever they go." And it was just like the perfect, like, I'm not calling you out, but I'm totally calling you out right now. And it was just so funny. And the way he gave his speech was so inspiring, and how he's going to tackle these issues and how he's going to move the country forward in like very clear terms, in my opinion. Clear terms. I mean,
oh no, he's a wonderful genius.
I'm super proud because I think he's like one of the greatest politicians that Canada has ever had. I mean, the fact that he's able to reach so many and not be divisive. And you might say, well, he's hating on these liberal policies. Isn't that divisive? Well, no. I mean, he's calling out their bills. He's calling out the things that they've pushed forward. He's not attacking their ideology. He's just saying that they have done some really shitty things for the country. Like Bill C.
He's not attacking. He's not attacking them personally. He's just attacking what he feels needs to be changed.
Yeah, like, I mean, sure. I mean, you spend $6,000 at a hotel night, and some people can't afford to eat. I want that called out, personally. Like, like, he didn't even, the reason why it's so important is because he didn't use his own money. It was government funded, right?
Does he have any more money?
Oh, I'm sure Justin Trudeau, through like the We Charity, has made a lot of money. Got anything you want to say about that, Josh? You look pretty happy that I said that.
I am, but if we're gonna get dragged out in a body bag,
we're gonna get dragged out into a body bag. We're gonna dragged out.
Liberals are gonna come after us.
Why?
Big Daddy Trudeau.
Why?
Big Daddy Trudeau.
If it's so legit, what's the problem with saying it?
Right.
right? I mean, if you have such indefensible, I mean, if you think charities are the most pure-blooded thing in the world, then why do African children still starve? Right? I mean,
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with popcorn.
yeah, well, popcorn just makes you fart.
This is my second meal of the day, by the way.
The only thing I've
I
eaten
can't afford
today
milk.
is like we didn't have baked potatoes and cheese and stuff. We had just like those potato patties, and we just put some cheese on it, and it was really good.
Like a Tim Hortons hash brown.
Yeah, yeah, and you just throw some cheese on it, and it's really tasty. It's kind of like a baked potato, just not.
Sweet hash browns. They're the shit. I
They're
love them.
so good. They're just so good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is about them.
The hippo left the toaster. There's a toaster oven.
Value.
So like toaster oven with hash browns
Yeah.
and some eggs. Oh. And then make some homemade borscht.
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 Is it weird? Is it weird how I say that?
I just love that word. It just sounds so good to
Borscht.
say borscht. It just sounds. I don't know. Maybe it's like certain words when I just say them, I'm just like, man, that felt good in my mouth. That felt good. That felt good.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of borscht,
Okay.
going into Russians, Dr. Lively.
Who?
Leipzig.
Who's that? Doctor who?
Livesy. Here, I'll try to find it and I'll send it to you. It's a Russian cartoon.
Fictional character. Dr. David Livesey is a fictional character in the 1883 novel Treasure Island.
Yeah. Is he the one that's like...
Yeah, I
smiling
mean,
a whole bunch?
he doesn't look nice. I mean, he looks interesting.
Dude.
Yeah, what?
Hey, he's a Chad. Yeah. Get on my side.
Okay. One sec.
Dr. Livesy is a Chad.
Okay, wait. You're injured,
Dr. Livesy
sir.
walk.
We're just watching it right now.
Walk?
What?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Livesy is a Chad.
What?
Доктор Ливси. Очень хороший, веселый человек. Характер общительный. Не женат.
Temper extroverted? Doctor help the captain's injured.
Welcome to my childhood.
You grew up with this? No wonder you're so
Yeah.
fucked up.
A lot that I grew up with. And then a lot of people are just... It's like, what are you doing?
Okay, yeah, I mean that's enough of that. But I mean,
Did you see the walk, though?
yeah, I mean he did like the. You know?
Dude. Oh, the very, like... He's a Chad. He's a straight
And
Chad.
for anyone who's wondering, yes, it is minus 20 here. It is cold as fuck.
What is it here? Hold on.
Yeah.
-7 for me.
It's minus 20 here. Like, it's cold. That's
It's
why I got my
supposed
fire going.
I walked to work today. And -8. So if I can do it, you can.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying, you know, I can't handle it. Goddamn.
But then again, what?
It's like, goddamn. It's cold.
Um, if you like, I thought about this on the way to work. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
if you think about all the things that I've done just to get to work, or all the things I've done for other people, if I were to measure that up and like all the things that I put myself through, actually just excluding just the work because you were there for it.
Yeah.
The forest fires,
Mm-hmm.
the days that I'd come to work with a beard full of ice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like there ain't fucking no stopping me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a-
unstoppable force. Right? You will get there.
gonna make a really bad joke.
I mean,
The only time that stop the only time it stops me is when the woman says no.
so, what if a guy says no, you just keep going? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, you fist him.
Okay. Okay.
Wear him like a puppet. Oh, did I ever tell you about my ex? How I wore her like a puppet?
You know what? We don't need to talk about that. But no, you
No,
did.
it was the ex before. It was the ex before the him.
Was she just I don't know how to describe it. She said, "Go for it" type of gal.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she was also go for it with my best friend.
Nice.
And the hippo's ex fiance when they were together.
Nice.
And she did this let's go attitude while she was with me.
Well, hose before those.
Ew.
Hose before Joes. I don't know. I don't know what the saying is. Is it like
You know, hose bros before hose.
yeah. I just live in a shell of sadness. Despair.
You make yourself sound like the most emo kid I know, and yet you are like the happiest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah. But, it's cause like mad pain underneath. Mad pain. I'm just kidding. But
And then there's me who just tells casual story or like what seems like casual stories by the tone of my voice. And it's like the saddest thing you've ever heard.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's because of Rocket League. I blame Rocket League for my attitude. It's like the most depressing game I've ever played, and I can't stop playing it.
So you're gonna blame video games.
I literally blame video games.
We're circling back to video games.
Literally. I mean, it's just like I can't do it. Like when I watch Rocket League, I feel pain. When I play it, I feel pain. When I'm not playing it, I feel pain. So it's like it's a lose-lose.
Hey.
It's just pain.
So right now you're feeling pretty painful.
It hurts. I mean,
Uh,
luckily, it's really nice in this room because I got the fire really going. So I just I'm thinking of what outside is like right now, and I want to go outside and see what it's like, but I know that's a bad idea. Cause
tell you when I'm done with smoke.
Oh, you're -7. Shut up. you know what? It's cold as balls out there. I mean,
We're supposed we're supposed to get as low as minus 14.
what, bro? We were -14 like 2 days ago. Get with it.
This is how Canadians argue with each other. Hey, that's no though.
Bro, we have 8 inches of snow outside. Like,
I got 6. I got 6 inches in my pants.
dude, I got like 3. Okay, take
Oh.
3 inches, take it or leave it. You know, like if it if it ain't the vibe, it ain't the jive, or something like that. But no, this.
Oh, I made a rap. I got 4 inches. I don't have a rhyme for inches. I'm retarded. I think I farted. No, I sharded.
Yeah, I don't. What? It's so funny. Yeah, Canadians do argue like that, where it's like, yeah, you don't fucking know what cold is until you've been up to Smithers. It's like, shut up. No, seriously, people have said that to me, where it's like, I haven't been up to the Yukon, so I don't know what real cold is. And I'm like, well, I mean, when I was 6 years old, I'd have walked to the bus stop, right? And literally on my walk to the bus stop, which was like, I just had to go up the trailer court and like cross the road a little bit. From my walk there, which probably takes me like 5 minutes, maybe 6, my nose would have ice in it. And like my ears would have ice. And school would still be going at -36. And you might be like, oh, where's your parents at? Well, I mean, my mom just told me to get the fuck to school. She's just like, go catch the bus. Don't catch. I had my cousin with me. My cousin was with me. She made sure I got to the bus stop, but you know, still.
I used to do the exact same thing, but just like I just go to the bus and wait there, and hope to God that one of the bullies don't give me a face wash. having to sit there with frozen ass cheeks.
Dude, I was that dick. Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna ask you which part of the fence you were on.
Well, you see,
were you the bully or bullied?
I was the bullied. So my story goes, I was the bully, and the bully punched me in the face. He gave me a black eye. And then he got suspended. But then after that happened, I was like, what am I going to do? Because I can't defend myself against this bully. He's too big. He was a year above me. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, this is elementary school. I was like, I'm just going to become friends with a guy above his grade. Right? If I become really good friends with them, then he's not going to bug me. And I can bug him. So I became friends with, guys that were just bigger. And honestly, they were really cool guys. They loved playing Call of Duty. That's where I kind of got that love. And he never bullied me again because, like, my friend was like 6 foot in like grade 6. Like, he was a monstrous human, but he's such a nice guy at the end of the day. And him and I bonded. We saw like ants fucking, and we were like, this is hilarious. And then we became friends.
Well, I was the bullied. I mean,
we didn't do anything.
I wasn't the bully.
Protection. It's mostly just for protection. I mean, we did face washing people, but whatever.
You bullied the bully.
Yeah, I came back strong.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. You might as well just say you were a neutral party.
I was. I mean, I was like NATO. I was like, hey, yeah, you want to fuck with me? Well, look at my friends. Look at my... It's just like America.
I got my ass beaten. I got a black eye like every fucking week.
Jeez.
And and I still came to school.
You have to.
Like, I don't want to be here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have a similar moment where in Seton Secondary, there was this kid just bugging me for 2 weeks, punching me in the arm. And I'm in grade 8. This is my first year of grade 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I say first year because, well, needless to say, I finally snapped after being a gentle giant for most of my school life.
Mm-hmm.
And I kicked him in the back of the leg, and his knee went from here, where the knee is supposed to be, all the way down to his shin.
Oh,
They kicked me out.
you got
He
expelled?
admitted to bullying. He admitted to bullying me, and I'm the one who got kicked out.
Man, ain't that liberal institutions for you right there?
Um,
Wow,
I was bullied.
that's crazy though. That's crazy.
I know, like seeing me now, you would have never guessed.
No.
I hide it. I seem like I was the jockey, preppy dude. I was the fucking nerd in the back of the class, just trying to draw anime.
You know, it's so funny because like you have these intentions of like I'm gonna make friends because I want friends who will help me when I'm getting picked on, right? Like so that young mindset, right? You're just you're scared, right, or something. But then like after you make those friends, and I've always had a really good I'm gonna praise myself a little bit. I've always had a really great eye for people, right? And just like really good hearted people. You know, maybe they're not like the greatest in the moment, but at the end of the day, their hearts are pure. I've always thought I've had a good eye for it. And like,
Hmm.
even though, like, yeah, I picked these people out of like bad intentions, like you could say, they ended up being some really great friends, right? And we made like movies together, like film like those zombie movies that you'd make as a kid, and you know, played a lot of COD, went biking a lot, and just generally did like kid stuff. Like we didn't really go out of our way to bully people. If someone was fucking with us, right? We just you know no one really did because I mean it was just different. I don't know.
That's code, though.
Yeah,
If you see your friend, like if you as soon as you see your friend getting punched, and you
yeah,
punch the guy, and anybody else around that is in the dude who punched your friend's circle, you knock them
mm-hmm.
out too, and then you drag your friend out and ask him who did what afterwards.
Yeah.
You shoot first, ask questions.
Well, I think it's also just it was more of an intimidation, right? Like you know, someone shoves your buddy, right, and then all of a sudden there's four guys right there, right, and you're a kid, right? You could be the cockiest, arrogant kid in the entire world, but like as soon as you know these seventh graders are on you, and you're in grade 5, what are you gonna do? Right? Squat. You're gonna run away. But like they're not gonna hit you, you know. So
His
we
kids
would
were braver in my generation.
yeah like we would punch them, right? Like because we had this mentality of like if he shoves you, right, then just like look at him. Just like look at him. Everyone just stare at him, right? And look murderous. And then he'll run away. And when he goes to his mom, he can be like, these kids intimidating me, but we could always just be like, well, he shoved us first. And we just didn't do anything back. He just ran off like a pussy.
Mhm.
Right? And then the mom is
Um,
like, oh, well, you know, he started it. And they didn't do anything, so I'm not going to get mad at him. My mom was like always on my side. Like every time. She knew. She knew I wouldn't throw the first punch.
for my generation and my schooling, it was always like people thought of it like a prison.
Mm-hmm.
They found the biggest guy. They found the biggest guy there, which was me. Just like my son, who is I just found out is playing, I think, goalie or center. Depends on the game.
Mm-hmm.
and he's like 5'7". He's 11 years old. 5'7" and 150 pounds.
Wow.
He's a big fucking kid, and
A
that's
dang
the same as me.
prodigy. A dang prodigy right there.
I was the same size. I was the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the difference is like now compared to then, bullying was like, okay, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get picked on, and then you become something great. But nowadays, it's like you gotta treat people friendly and nice. And
Well, it might
what was it?
also
Where was that one?
it might also be like because he's on a hockey team, right? He's got all these hockey boys with him that just you don't want to fuck with a hockey team boy. You just don't, right? Because what's gonna happen? You fuck with that kid, now you got the whole hockey team on you. That doesn't seem like a smart play. I mean, like that's like I would never. It'd be like fucking with a rugby kid. Like you're just asking
I
to
became that in
die.
high school.
You're asking to die. You're asking.
Mm-hmm. I did end up actually going back into a school after Seton. I went to VSS, and I was in the football team, the rugby team. I didn't like it. Eventually quit, and I was actually going to be captain. Captain of the wrestling team. And they were going to make a wrestling team with me as captain. And this one kid, he was like half my size. I really didn't want to fucking hit him. But it was pissing me off because he kept like shoving me and fucking like throwing shit at me and calling me like a big fat fucking retard or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally, I snapped. I was just like, you know what? You can stop. You can sit down. You can go away. Don't care what you do. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I put my hand gently on his head. I'm like, now go be a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he smacked my hand, so I just fucking grabbed him, threw him to the ground, started hitting him in the head. I missed a couple of times and hit concrete, and realized I broke these two knuckles. But I went to the principal, and the principal like looked at me. He's like the guy deserved it probably, but why did it have to be you?
Who knows? Had to be him. Just had to be.
I snapped.
Anyway.
But that was as far as my snap was.
Yeah, childhoods are interesting. I think there's a lot to learn from them, but I think it's good not to be overly critical of yourself. Like when you look back, like sure you can dwell on like the mistakes and stuff, and like I wish I wouldn't have hit that kid, or I wish I would have given him a face wash. Like but you gotta remember, like in the moment, times were different, right? Like
no, I wish I would have hit him harder.
Sure, but like I'm trying to give a PSA announcement for depression, okay? And it's just like you don't need to dwell on it. Like the choices that you made are made, and you know what, you learn from them obviously because you're dwelling on the mistake. But it's like you just need to acknowledge that you've learned something and be like, I'm just not gonna handle that situation the same moving forward. I'm just gonna handle it better. Like when am I ever gonna be on a school ground again where someone's pushing me around, honestly? Right? There's so many emotional factors that go in there. You just got out of class with a bunch of kids and now the kids are running around, it's frantic. A kid pushes you, what do? You punch him back because you're fucking high on adrenaline. Right? Right? You're just like, oh, boom, right? Sock him. But yeah, just don't let things bug you too much. That's basically what I'm getting at. Don't do drugs.
And I'm gorgeous.
Yeah, and Josh is beautiful.
Don't do drugs.
Right? I mean,
so are you, Caleb?
Not really.
You're beautiful. There you are.
Apparently, I look like Joji according to Umer.
You need a haircut.
I do need a bit of a haircut, but I don't know.
I'll give you a haircut.
Should I just let it happen? Should I just let it grow out even longer?
You should come to Vernon and let me cut your hair.
You know, I was thinking. You know, I'm gonna be. I was thinking about it. Let's say.
We'll go terrorize. We'll go terrorize the Supplement King.
Who works there right now? Do you know?
Aaron.
Pardon?
You remember the shorter bald guy with the giant hooped earrings that
Yeah.
he never wore? Yeah, that guy.
Oh, he still does. He still works there.
He's the manager.
Okay, he's probably doing a good job then. He's been there for a while.
And Sam.
Sam's still there?
Yep.
Last
time I checked, he was.
That's good.
And then they got two new other guys. They're nice. They just come across as like very preppy. It's like it's a lot different. It went from like the band of misfits to all right, these guys are kind of preppy.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where Supplement Kings evolve into somewhat. Is from this very sort of band of fighters, so to speak, into a bit more of a corporate status, right? But I think it's like an era going across. Like I don't know, like Supplement King Fredericton used to be owned by someone, and then I don't see him on the social medias anymore, so I have to assume that he sold Supplement King. I have to assume I see none of him for like the past 6 months, right? And he was on there every day before. So maybe he took a break, maybe he's just not doing social medias anymore, but so I think it's like an era. And I think I'm pretty proud of this. So back in the day, in 2019, Supplement King Fredericton did some like videos, right? They did some like some skits, and we did our EPE sale, and we were like, how are we going to make these skits better, right? These like short little skits. I was like, well, what if we do an intro, right? What if we do a skit intro into the giveaway? So it's not just like giveaway and then something funny, or like something funny and then it's actually a whole thing. So I'm pretty proud to say that we pioneered sort of the sort of comedy mentality of the Supplement Kings going forward. Like after we did an EPE sale and we made all of those skits, me, Deidre, Broden, Jordan, Maria, Darren. After we did all those skits, and we did a bunch of them. Like we did one where I was like, put me on a chair, and I was like, literally throw me across the room, and I'll hop off the chair, I'll slide, and then I'll like lift myself, pull out of my coat the winner of the draw. You know? And I'll be like, the winner is Bing, this person, right? I'll be like, come on down, you know, like little things like that. Which, that's why whenever we saw in our EPE programs, Broden always wanted me to do more things, right? Because back then I was really creative and I wanted to like make really good videos and pull a lot of people. We had our best EPE sale. That was probably the best EP we ever did. Was that year. And there it goes, Josh.
No, it's Kamloops.
The other side fell.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, that was in Kamloops, and it was really good. Vernon was amazing. Vernon was
Trade My Heritage.
Like that EP sale was really good, and I really loved it. But it was just from a different perspective for me. Like when I did the sale in Kamloops, I wasn't a manager, and I didn't have to worry about the sales. I didn't have to worry about um making sure everyone was there and scheduling and like having like my father, Mike Broden be over, making sure everything was clean for them. Like it just there was a lot more duties, right? And I think it sort of
Mm.
zapped my creativity a little bit because that wasn't where my focus was. Whereas in Kamloops, my focus was primarily on how can I fucking make this most original thing in the world, right? And it worked, right? And I'm gonna be wrong.
Mm.
I like it literally goes that Kamloops EPE, and then the second one is the Vernon one, and it was the
Which one? Which one?
um
There was one before me.
there was one before you,
Mm-hmm.
and that was with Matt and Matt
That one hot chick.
Maddie, but Maddie wasn't really great at her job. Maddie was just like I love Maddie, she's a great person. But like fucking
Oh, she's a wonderful person.
but just like blow my brains out. Anyway, I don't want to harp on Maddie, but um
If you got to remind her to do like the same thing over and over and over,
no,
it's kind of
just
ridiculous.
she just didn't really want to work there at the end of the day, and that's fine, right? I mean, I needed someone like when she put in a resume. I was like, I fucking need a human. Like it doesn't matter who. Like I'm the type of hire that if I'm desperate, I'm fucking desperate. Like I'm not one of these businesses like I need people. I'm like I need someone. I fucking need. So I'm gonna go find someone. Right. Anyway, that's how she got
I
hired.
will I will agree with you with Maddie because I actually I had her come in and we were talking and um I realized that she was the one the first time I ever stepped into Supplement King.
Mm-hmm.
It was like at 6 o'clock at night. I need to get some stuff, and then tomorrow I'm going to start my workouts. Um, and so I was just telling her my goals. She sold me fucking nitric oxide. So, but the stim free pre workout. When if you actually like know about like strongman and other sports like that, you will know that just a stim free pre workout isn't going to cut it.
No.
No, she sold me a pump basically,
Yeah.
and then I think she also tried to sell me a isolate.
Yeah.
Mammoth isolate
No.
instead of the mass gainer.
I mean, I understand, right? Mascaner would have been better there. I think it wasn't her moves weren't wrong. They weren't blunders. They were just inaccuracies.
Yes.
She's just a little inaccurate with you, right? But
So 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 if she was holding legend,
yeah,
I'd go legend, and then instead of the isolate, sold to me the mass gainer. She was. It's pretty much like a hot girl. You were so close,
mm-hmm.
and then you tripped,
Yeah, and I
and then you
mean,
tumbled.
being real, like mass gainers have such a good margin on them. You make so much money off of mass gainers than you do compared to isolates. Listen,
So
if you're working at GNC, you cannot divulge their costs. You can't talk about their costs because that's probably a breach in your contract. Just so you know.
I I will say that I'm actually going to go back on mass gainer because of the research I've done today, and also I actually made goal because of selling so many mass gainers. So I will agree
Mm-hmm.
that the mass gainers, not only are they good for gaining weight, but they're also good for us who sell them. So
Yep.
keep fucking buying them if you
Like
really want to gain some weight.
the thing was when we were working in that store is we had the greatest margins of almost any supplement king in Canada. Like,
Mhm.
and it was funny because even though we'd make less money than Kamloops, we would make more profit than them, which at the end of
Mhm.
the day is really what you're looking for, right? Whenever I would go on
Re-
my video calls with the owners at the end of the day, and we'd talk over numbers, like we would. One of the biggest things was you made more money than Kamloops did, from a revenue perspective, right? And that's sort of why I was able to just be on my own, right? It's because we were just, whenever an argument would happen where it's like, oh, right, you didn't have a lot of people, like, oh, you didn't have a lot of sales today, you didn't have a lot of volume. Well, it's like, well, what's our revenue at? Oh, well, you're more than Kamloops. It's like, so at the end of the day, we just made more money, you know?
Yeah, I think I even dived into that a little bit, like right right as you were like, I think it was like a couple months before you were uh on your leave, on your way out. Um, you and me were pretty much the captain and co-captain,
Mm-hmm.
or like um you were the forefront, yes, but I was also in the back as you were teaching me, like, okay, this how this works, because
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty much the last one standing
Yeah.
of being one of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I remember I'm the one who said, hire Sam. If it doesn't work, you can fire both of us,
Mm-hmm.
or something along the lines of that. And he turned out to be great.
Yeah, he's doing really
We
well.
both trained him. Yeah, we both trained him, and he's doing amazing now. Uh, um, and I just remember us going through all the numbers, and I'm like, doesn't that mean we're kicking the shit out of the Kamloops? And you're like, yep.
Yeah, we are. We
I
were.
I was I was talking to the area manager too, and like every time we talked, I was just like, yeah, when it comes to percentage wise, um, for how big Kamloops is and for how small it is, you're doing significantly better.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure he agreed when you brought that up.
Reluctantly,
Yeah, I mean, I love Bro, but sometimes he
I
can
think
be a
there was a pride
little.
there.
Well, you look at it from his perspective, right? I mean, he has to keep us humble, right? So he can't just be singing our praises, or else we'll become complacent.
Like even today, I just had the moment of like this is what I was trained for. This is what like getting the numbers I did at work. I was just it's like this is what I was trained for. This like I have two different stores worth of training, and this is the accomplishments
The
that I
result.
can achieve.
um,
Yeah, of course I need customers to come in, but when they do come in, I can make the end result look amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
Like
that
you guys
was.
took.
Yeah, I think that was always like the goal. It's like my mentality was like I want good people that I can like. I feel confident leaving the store with. That's gonna do as well, if not better than me. You know, and yeah, I felt like I found a really good one in you and Matt and Adam. You know, those are the standouts in my mind. Um, you know, Logan was pretty
Let's
good.
be honest, I'm number one.
You know,
Oh, fuck.
you gotta remember how. I mean, as far as like sales points and like percentages go, I think you were number one. But I
Yeah.
think as far as like revenue, yeah, you might be the best one. You might be number one. Could be
Mhm.
Dawson. Dawson was really good. Dawson was crazy. But
I think,
Dawson was only with me for a really short period of time, so I cannot give him number one because he was with me for so short.
Mhm.
But he was crazy.
So that's kind of my goal. Any jump, and I told you that during any
Mm-hmm.
interview. My goal is to show you that I am the best,
Mm-hmm.
one that you'll never pick.
Yeah.
I have that mentality and that drive. That it's just like I'm an overachiever. I've had someone call me a tryhard before, and I told them to kick rocks.
It's kind of cringe.
Um, Funny enough, he used to work at GNC,
Oh, really?
and then he came and shopped at. Yeah, he came and shopped at Supplement King when we were doing the EPD.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him all worked together in Munchies. And the guy, like, he can call me a tryhard all he wants. I still think he's got the biggest stick up his ass. Like, yeah, you fucking sit there and tell me shit. But you know, I even looked at my manager today because she came in for a bit, and I said, "Oh, like we made not only our goal, but we made over our goal."
Mm-hmm. It was
She's like,
crushed.
"Of course, when I'm not here."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, well, you're welcome. So I get to go back there tomorrow and let the coworker know. You definitely got to come down and meet him. He is so funny.
Oh, really? I should.
Yeah, he's a big Jamaican dude.
Sounds like my kind of a guy.
Oh, I call him dark chocolate, spicy dark chocolate, and he calls me exotic vanilla.
Wow. I think
We're gonna
on that note, talking about work and supplements, maybe we'll segue into the next one with some more supplement talk and delve into that a little bit more. Maybe some more work stories. I think those are always fun. Yeah, I'll leave you a sneak peek. I'll tell you what fucking I used to do like every single day when I was working that I literally just never told you guys because you're my employees. But a little sneak peek. But anyway, guys, that was great. I loved it. I think I'm gonna be signing off here, and let's do a little outro business. Josh, is there anything you'd like to say? Closing statements.
the government isn't real. Spy cameras are after us.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Right Men podcast. We love you, no homo, and
Oh, absolutely homo. My dick's on fire.
if you want to check us out live, we will be streaming at least on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Twitch link will be in the description below. If you want, you can subscribe and be an absolute legend and follow us for more content. We're going to try and push out so much, and we love you guys and we want to grow on here. So come join us and join the discussion. All right, guys. See ya.